The early 90s were a wonderful time for shoot-'em-up fans. It didn't matter if you were an arcade fanatic or a console warrior. Fantastic shooters were bountiful wherever you looked. The downside is that with such a plethora of games to choose from, it took a lot for a single game to stand out from the crowd. Luckily, Metal Black has some tricks up its sleeve. This game grabs your throat from the very first stage and doesn't let go. You're the pilot of the Black Fly, a ship that's been restricted by the UN prior to the end of the world. The game starts out with a brief flight through the ruins of a major city, where you annihilate a variety of enemies before leaving the planet for the dark void of space. It's evident that the war has already been lost before the game actually starts. This is not a game about hope. This is a revenge story, pure and simple. The first thing about the game that's fresh is the weapon system. Whereas most shooters of the era focus on collecting power-ups to upgrade or entirely change your weapons, Metal Black takes a different approach. Your ship's equipped with a twin shot as your base weapon and a giant beam as your power weapon. Both are available to use from the start of the game, but the use of the beam changes based on your energy, or NEWALONEs in Taito speak. It will normally appear as a giant horizontal beam, but if you are able to charge it to full, then it will become a screen-clearing, multi-angled monster of a weapon that is essential for making it through some of the game's tougher moments. You'll be collecting that energy during the game, but managing it and deciding when to unleash the weapon is actually more important. Metal Black makes clever use of scaling and parallax to bring life to its world. Scenery whizzes past in the foreground to add depth to scenes. Ships scale during bonus stages to create a pseudo 3D effect. And the explosion when you finish off a boss is one of my favourite 2D effects ever. It's a game that really demonstrates the gulf between the arcades and home consoles of the era when it comes to raw horsepower. Even the most bombastic home shooters of the day can't come close to the technical prowess of Metal Black. The entire game features an atmosphere that's unique amongst shooters. The music is energetic, yet somewhat unsettling. The visuals in the game involve hypnotic patterns and backgrounds that suddenly shift into abstract effects. The game becomes more and more unhinged as you make your way through to the final boss, which leads to an ending that I really don't want to spoil. In a weird way, it brings out a similar emotional response to watching Evangelion. You think you know what's happening at the start, but there's always an underlying sense of unease until the entire thing unravels at the conclusion. Plus, you know, those explosions. So good.